In this video, I'm going to teach you how to use the CryptoPRO compounder and also a couple of strategies to show you of what you can do with investing with your Litecoin, Ethereum and Bitcoin. So on the left-hand side here, we go to compounder. Okay, so we can see here we've got a compounder for Bitcoin, Litecoin and Ethereum. So we start with Bitcoin. And we want to work out how much Bitcoin do we need in our account to be able to compound daily and ultimately to be able to compound every 6 hours. So we change the $1,000 here to the current price, and it's currently 7560. Click on calculate. Okay, so we can see here that we need 0.3 Bitcoin, so that's currently $2,268 to be able to compound daily. If you want to be able to compound your Bitcoin every 6 hours, you need 1.2 Bitcoin, which is currently $9,072. Move across to Litecoin. We change the $1,000 again, and Litecoin is 76.90 currently. Click on calculate. And here to be able to compound your Litecoin, it's $760 or $3,040. Now this is US dollars that I'm talking here. In all of our presentations, we talk about US dollars. Now go across to Ethereum, change the $1,000 and for 20 is the current price. Click on calculate. Okay, so we can see here with Ethereum, we need about $1,260 to compound daily. That's a great little strategy. Litecoin, you can see here, requires the least amount of money to be able to compound daily. So what some people do is that they fund their Litecoin account, get it compounding daily, then they want to diversify and diversify into Ethereum. So then get their Ethereum account compounding daily. When that's then compounding daily, go across here to the Bitcoin and get that compounding daily. Then you've got 3 different coins working for you. So that explains how the compounder works, but let's have a look at a couple of different investment strategies here. What if we started with $1,000? Start with 1,000, we're going to earn 1% a day, and let's go out to 365 days. So 1 year, and we're going to reinvest 100% of our funds. So we want to compound this for a year. So we're going to put in 100. Okay. Now, I must inform you that this does not take into consideration of the fluctuation of the coins. It's going to assume that the coins are going to stay at the exact same price. So Bitcoin now, as an example, is 7,560. So it's assuming that it's going to stay at the same price over the next 12 months. Now, of course, that's not going to happen. So there's no way, none of us have got a crystal ball. We've got no idea what it's going to do. But I don't know about you, but I believe all of these currencies are going to be greater than where they are now in 12 months' time. So if Bitcoin, Litecoin and Ethereum go up, then the returns I'm going to show you here now will be greater. If it goes down, well then of course the returns will be less. So we click on calculate, wait for it to do its magic. Okay, first thing we look at is a summary. All right, so we started with $1,000 and the principal grew to a massive $12,751 in 12 months' time. We didn't make any withdrawals, so our profit over 12 months was $11,751. So guys, that is the power of compounding. We started this account with only $1,000 and it grew to over $12,000 in 12 months' time. That's earning 1% a day. That little 1% a day just compounds and compounds and compounds. Now, the 1% is not a whole 1% profit. If you look on CryptoPRO's website, you'll be able to see how that's all calculated, because that 1% is the return of your capital as well. So we need to consider that too when we look at this compounder. So let's look at every day as it goes by. We can see here that we started with 1,000, and we're reinvesting 100%, so we earn $10. So now tomorrow we're going to have 1,010 earning 1%. And that's going to keep going and going up until 150 days. So let's scroll down, look at the figures here on the left. 150 days time, what happens? So we started with 1,000. So we can see here that we got $4,448 in 150 days. But the next day it drops down $1,000 because that initial $1,000 is finished now. That's matured. You've been paid back. You don't go and get $1,000 back at the end of 150 days. You've been paid 1% a day for 150 days, which includes the return of your capital. So we can see here that the compounder works because it took $1,000 out. Now, every day what happens here now is the next day, the return that you got on day 2 is deducted. The next day, the return you got on day 3 is deducted. So it keeps deducting out as 150 days goes by because those investments mature. Now let's fast forward now to a year. What happens in 12 months? Keep scrolling down, 365. So we can see now we have $12,751 in our account. Now, another strategy we can do. All right, so that started with 1,000, we grew that up to 12,000. So what if you withdrew, say, $2,751? Okay, now remember on your withdrawals, you can't go and withdraw $10,000 or $7,000 or $5,000. You can only withdraw what is in your account in the earnings. So every day you get your earnings and you can either reinvest it or withdraw it. In 12 months' time, let me scroll down again just to explain that further. We're now getting $126 a day going into the account. All right, so on day 365, you can't say, okay, I want to go and withdraw $5,000 because if you kept reinvesting, you've got nothing sitting in your balance. It's all sitting in your investment. So the next day you get $126, you can withdraw that. So, okay, another strategy, what if you had $10,000? All right, and you went to invest $10,000. So $10,000, and here I'm going to show you something pretty exciting. Let's say we're going to reinvest 70%. Okay, so this is I call this my retirement strategy. All right, what I'm going to show you now is how you could retire in Thailand on $10,000. Why did I say Thailand? Well, for those that don't know me, I personally live in Thailand. So a lot of people, a lot of expats from around the world come and retire and live in Thailand because of the low cost of living. They find it too expensive to be able to live in their own country when they stop working. Or what if you want to stop working early and you've built up a bit of a nest egg and you don't want to work until you're 100 and you do want to retire and have a great lifestyle. So if you invested $10,000 and you reinvested 70%. So in other words, you're going to withdraw 30% every day, right, as your income to live on. Let's see how that works. Click on calculate. It's doing its magic. Okay, so we started with 10,000 and our principal grew to 24,000 and we also withdrew 22,000 for over the year. So we withdrew 22 grand, guys, and our account grew to 24. So let's break that down a little bit further. Day 1, okay, we've earned $70 and we withdrew $30. So right from the word go, $30 times 7, there's $210 a week. That's not going to be a great retirement, $200 a week, but that's still survival in Thailand. But let's go a year. What if you did this? You invested this and then you waited a year and then you started, then see what happens from there in a year to your retirement. So we're going to fast forward to 150 days. Why 150? Well, that's when our 10,000 matures, our initial seed capital. So if we're looking at day 150, our account had grown to 28,000. We were currently then on $84 a day. That's not a bad earn, 84 bucks a day. You can certainly do a bit with that. And it can certainly help to make a car payment or to pay your house off early, make your monthly mortgage, etc., etc. So the next day we can see it's dropped from 28,000 to 18,000 because your initial $10,000 is now matured. So our income has dropped now from 84,000 down to $84 down to $55, and it's going to keep increasing. So let's fast forward now to a year. So in 12 months' time, what's going to happen? 365 days. Okay, our account is growing. We've got $242 of earnings for the day, of which we're going to reinvest $169 and withdraw $72. So that's not bad, guys. $72 a day. So that's about, what's that, $500 a week? To equate that in Thai baht, if it was 500 US dollars for our American friends, that's over 16,000 Thai baht a month. For our Aussie friends, 500 Aussie dollars a week, well, that's 12,000 Thai baht a week. Now, let's put that into perspective. Before I bought my home here in Thailand, I was renting a beautiful 2-story, 3-bedroom house, 3 bathrooms, an office, double carport, etc., etc. Very, very nice house in a great gated community. I was paying 10,000 baht a month. My electricity is between 2,000 and 3,000 baht a month. All right, so let's say 2,500 baht a month. So here we're on 500 a week, even on Australian dollars, that's 12,000 baht a week. My monthly rent and my monthly electricity bill, the two major expenses, right, are covered in the first week. So now I've got 3 weeks of income to live off on the month. So not a bad strategy, is it? So have a play with this. You can adjust it to however you want to do it. Just change the figures in here, click on calculate. And again, you have to remember, this is not taking into consideration the rise or the fall of the currencies. So if the currency goes up, the return will be greater. If the currency goes down, then of course the return will be less. Now, another thing that's not factored here into this is that your investment with CryptoPRO, you earn every 6 hours. This compounder compounds every day. So when your account builds up to enable you to compound every 6 hours, well then of course this compounding is going to be a lot bigger than that, isn't it? Because this is compounding once a day. How will your account grow if you compound 4 times a day? Enormous, isn't it? Okay, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I look forward to showing you some further videos again soon.